Assalamu alaikum. Students, in this video, we'll be looking at some more questions on how to solve quadratic equations by completing square method. And we have four questions in this video. In the first two questions, the coefficient of x square is 1. And in the last two questions, the coefficient of x square is other than 1. So we'll be looking at both the methods, and we have done a lot of questions on the coefficient of x square is 1, but when the coefficient of x square is other than 1, this is the first type of question. So we'll be solving two questions in this video and see how and what is the exactly is the method of solving questions that have the coefficient of x square other than 1. So this is the reference. These questions, the first two questions are from exercise 1A, question number 4, part A and E, page 9, D3, 7th edition. The question is x square plus 2x minus 5 equals to 0. This is our question, and we have to solve. We have to find the values of x, we have to find the roots, we have to find the solution of x, and we know that this is not an identity because this is a square and 5 is not a square. So this is not an identity, and if we are going for completing square method, so since our answers are in decimal, so we will not be able to make the factors in decimal. So we do not know the formula method yet. So we have only one option, that is the completing square method. So what we'll do, we'll just separate these two terms, the first two terms, x square plus 2x. We'll take the coefficient of x, that is 2. We will divide it by 2 and we will get the 1 as answer, and then we will add the square of 1 and subtract the square of 1. This minus 5 will be as it is at the end, equals to 0. This addition of 1 square will make these three terms our identity, and we just have to close this identity. We have a equal to x, and the term of the middle term, the sign of the middle term is positive, and the b term is 1. So x plus 1 whole square equals to minus 1 whole square means 1, and this is minus 5. So minus 1 and minus 5 will be minus 6, and I will move this minus 6 on the other side of the equation, so it will become positive 6. So now I have completed my question. I have converted my question into the specific form where I can apply taking square root method on both the sides. So in order to find the value of x, I will take square root on both the sides. On taking square root, this square and this root will be cancelled out. This will be x plus 1, and this will be equals to plus minus under root 6. And I have two possibilities now. The first one is x plus 1 equals to under root 6, and the next one is x plus 1 equals to minus under root 6. I will shift this one on the other side, and I will get the value of x as 1.41. And in this condition, I will shift this plus 1 on the other side. It will get minus 1, and minus minus will be added, and I will get an answer of x is equals to minus 3.45. So these are the two solutions, the two values of x, and since they are in decimal, so I will not be able to solve it by the factorization method. So that's why I told you that the factorization method is only handy when the factors are very much easy, the factors are simple, but when it comes into decimal, we cannot apply the factorization method. We have to go for the formula method or the completing square method. We have one more question like this. We have x square plus 1 upon 4x minus 3 equals to 0. Again, the question is the same, and we have to solve the value of x. This is not an identity, and we cannot apply the factorization method because the factors are not that much simple. So we'll complete it by solve it by completing square method. So I will just pair up the first two terms. I will take the coefficient of x, that is 1 upon 4. I will divide it by 2, and on dividing it by 2, I will get 1 upon 8 as my answer. So I will add the square of 1 upon 8 and subtract the square of 1 upon 8, and I will shift this minus 3 on the other side, so it will become positive 3. The first three terms will automatically form an identity. I will just have to close it. The value of a is x and the value of b is 1 upon 8. The sign of the middle term is positive, so this will become x plus 1 upon 8 whole square, and I will shift this minus 1 upon 8 whole square on the other side, so it will be 1 square is 1 and 8 square is 64. and I will take the LCM as 64, and this will become 192. 192 plus 1 will be 193 upon 64. I can convert this fraction into decimal, and I can write it like this: x plus 1 upon 8 whole square equals to 3.015. And then again I have converted the question in the specific form where I can apply the taking square root method. So I will just take square root on both the sides and I will just solve them. The value of x will be 1.61 and the other value will be minus 1.86. So these were the two questions in which the coefficient of x square is 1. So there was no difference. We have done a lot of questions on this concept before. So this was just a revision for you guys. The new thing in this class, the new thing in this video is solving questions in which the coefficient of x square is other than 1. So this is our two last questions. They are from exercise 1A, question 1, part A and B, page number 9D3, 7th edition. The question is, we have 2x square plus 5x minus 7 equals to 0. We can clearly see that the coefficient of x square is not 1. Here the coefficient is 2. So we cannot apply the method directly. We have to add one more step over here. And the step is that we have to make this coefficient 1. So that we can apply this method easily. So I can make the coefficient 1 by dividing both sides with 2, because in maths we have to do the thing on both the sides. If we are dividing 2 on one side, so we have to divide it on the other side too. So what I did, I just shifted this minus 7 on the other side, so it will become positive 7, and then I divide both the sides by 2. This is 2x square plus 5x, so divided by 2, and this is 7 upon 2. I have divided both the sides by 2, and then I have separated this 2. I have written this 2 with both the terms, so this will become x square because 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. This is positive and this is 5 upon 2x equals to 7 upon 2. So now I have converted my question like this. My question is pretty much like this now. So now I can see that the coefficient of x square is 1, so I can now apply my method. I will take the coefficient of x, that is 5 upon 2, and I will divide it by 2. This will become 5 upon 4, because this sign of division will change into multiplication and this will be flipped, and this will be 1 upon 2. And when I will multiply 5 upon 4 multiply by 5 upon 2 multiply by 1 upon 2, it will become 5 upon 4. So I will add the square of 5 upon 4 and subtract the square of 5 upon 4 equals to 7 upon 2 as it is. These three terms will form an identity automatically, and I will just have to close it. The value of a is x, the value of b is 5 upon 4, and the sign of the middle term is positive, so my identity is x plus 5 upon 4 whole square. This is 7 upon 2 as it is, and this minus 5 upon 4 whole square will shift on the other side. It will get positive. Square of 5 is 25 and square of 4 is 16. And I have solved it on the next frame. This was x plus 5 upon 4 whole square, 7 upon 2 plus 25 upon 16. I have to recheck it. Yes, this is the same thing. And now I will take the LCM of 16 and 2. The LCM will be 16. This is 2, so I have to multiply it with 8. And I have to multiply the numerator with 8 as well. 8 7 times 56. And this will be 25 as it is. On adding these two, this will become 81 upon 16. And this will be x plus 5 upon 4 as it is. On taking square root, now I have achieved the desired form where I can solve it by taking square root. Taking square root on both sides, this square will be cancelled out by this root. This will be x plus 5 upon 4 equals to the square root of 81 is 9 and the square root of 16 is 4, so it will be positive and negative 9 upon 4. And now I have two possibilities. The first one is x plus 5 upon 4 equals to positive 9 upon 4, and the other possibility is x plus 5 upon 4 equals to minus 9 upon 4. So I will shift this 5 upon 4 on the other side. It will be subtracted. 4 will be the LCM, and 9 minus 5 is also 4. So 4 upon 4 is 1. The first value of x is 1, and this positive will go on other side. It will be negative. Again, the LCM is 4, and minus 9 and minus 5 is minus 14. You can also reduce it since both of them are even numbers. So your final answer will be minus 7 upon 2. So this was the method in which we have to make our coefficient 1. We have another question. The next question is 4x square minus 5x minus 6 equals to 0. Again, we have to solve it. We can see that the coefficient of x square is 4. So we have to make it 1. And how will we make it 1? We will divide both sides by 4. I will shift this minus 6 on the other side. So it will be positive 6 divided by 4, and the whole side will be divided by 4. This will be cancelled out. This will be x square. This is minus 5 upon 4x. Again, I have converted my question in the same form. Now the method is the same. Just take the sign, take the coefficient of x divided by 2. It will become 5 upon 8. Adding and subtracting the square of 5 upon 8, this will form an identity automatically. The sign of the middle term is negative. So it will be x minus 5 upon 8 whole square equals to 6 upon 4. Will stay on that side. This negative will go on other side, and it will become square of 5 is 25 and square of 8 is 64. Now I have to take the LCM. The LCM will be 64, and now I will have to multiply it with 16. 16 times 6 plus 25 is 121, and taking square root on both the sides, x minus 5 upon 8, this square will be cancelled out by this root sign, and square root of square root of 121 is 11, and square root of 64 is 8. Plus minus, don't forget this plus and minus sign because we are solving quadratic equations. And then I have two possibilities. The first one is with the positive 11 upon 8. The second one is the negative 11 upon 8. And on solving for x, I will get the first value of x is equals to 2. And the next value will be x is equals to minus 3 upon 4. So these were the two type of questions which we can have in this topic. And the first two questions were basically the revision. In the second question, there was just a one step that was new to you, and the other thing was the same. So we have a lot of questions in D3. I don't have to mention it. You can open your book, you can search for these questions, you can find a lot of them, and you have to practice them in order to make your concept crystal clear. And good luck with that. If you have any queries, if you have any question, you can comment, and inshallah I will respond. Until then, take care. Allah Hafiz.